Every kingdom may promise that its money is safe and everlasting. Every government may claim that its promises will endure forever, but history always proves them wrong. From Rome to France, from the Confederacy to modern Lebanon, people have woken up to the same morning again and again. The paper once called savings had become worthless. The future slipped away suddenly and without warning. Collapse is not an exception. Collapse and downfall are the rules of history. The question we must ask is this: when the system collapses, how will you protect what you've earned? The greatest illusion is the illusion of permanence. We look at the numbers in our bank accounts, at the paper in our wallets, and we assume they're safe. But money isn't stone, it's trust. And trust can vanish overnight. That's why history is both merciless and instructive. Every collapse leaves deep marks behind it, showing which values truly endure and which are swept away like dust in a storm. And if you pay attention, you'll notice this: those who survived each collapse were not the ones who trusted completely. They were the ones who doubted first. Think of Byzantium, Rome's eastern heir, an empire that stood for centuries. At the heart of its economy was the gold solidus, a symbol of long-lasting confidence. It was so reliable that merchants from Europe to Asia accepted it without hesitation, but in time they made the same mistake. Just like Rome's silver denarius, Byzantium began to debase its own currency. The purity of gold declined, trust wavered, and a coin that once ruled global trade became nothing more than a political tale. Who won in the end? Those who still held real gold, real land, real value. Here lies the first lesson of history. States cannot resist the temptation to tamper with their money, and when they do, true value inevitably flees. But not every collapse comes from kings or emperors. Sometimes disaster falls from the sky. When the Black Death struck Europe in 1347, half the population vanished. Cities emptied, trade crumbled. Yet something unexpected happened. The labor of the living became precious. Land fell in price. Work became valuable. Those who had money or silver suddenly gained power. Sound familiar? The pandemic of 2020 was its modern echo. Supply chains broke, governments printed trillions, and the same result followed once again. Those with reserves grew richer, those living paycheck to paycheck fell behind. History always teaches the same lesson. Those who endure crisis are always the ones who were prepared. We saw it again in Renaissance Florence. It was the financial capital of Europe, until a few royal debts brought it down. When Edward III defaulted, great houses like Bardi and Peruzzi collapsed overnight. People told themselves the same old story. These banks are too big to fail. But they failed, and the city grew poorer in an instant. The myth of too big to fail is the oldest lie in finance. The same play repeated in the American Civil War. The North printed greenbacks, the South graybacks. Paper money that began as patriotic became worthless. Prices soared, wages fell. What bought bread one day became just a hope the next. And once again, those with land, gold, or real assets survived. Those who trusted paper disappeared. In France, the revolutionaries printed assignats, believing they were building a new economy. But every new note they issued eroded trust a little more. In the end, people refused to trade real goods for worthless paper. The state did not win. The farmer did. Paper wasn't money. Bread was. Years passed and the stage moved to Asia. The 1997 Asian crisis. A nation's debt turned to chaos overnight. Thailand, Indonesia, South Korea. They all made the same mistake. They trusted someone else's currency. And when the storm hit, debtors drowned, just as they always have throughout history. Then came Lebanon, almost yesterday. People woke up, went to their banks, and found the doors locked, accounts frozen, money gone. Judges, teachers, doctors who had saved for a lifetime lost everything. Only those who held something real, gold, foreign currency, land, manage to breathe. History is telling you something. Don't blindly trust paper money, the numbers you see on a screen or the system itself, because the system can fall. And when it does, one question matters. Do you hold anything real? Do you have a skill that creates value? Can you bake bread? Can you build, repair, or provide? Can you meet a community's needs? If you can, collapse can't consume you. Because production never loses value. History always whispers the same truth. When crisis comes, wealth changes hands. The unprepared lose. The cautious win. Paper burns, but land remains. Systems fail, but skill and creation endure. So the question is, when everything collapses, will you still have something real? History does not repeat itself, but it always crushes those who ignore it. If you've listened this far, think about it. And if history has taught you something today, remember, the answer lies in the past.